Welcome back to the channel. Today we are working on this Splendide washing machine again. This is that I don't know what I called that model number in that first video, but it's a look at my hand, WFL 1300 XD X-Ray David washing machine. And as I told you in that video, I couldn't find a leak, but after I cut the camera off, I let it run through an entire cycle while I was doing some other stuff. And I came back and there was water that was running down the back of the machine. So I was like, what the heck? So let me take you around back and show you what I found. Or what I didn't find, maybe, I don't know. I was bragging about my why, and you know, I've been using this thing for a long time to test washing machines. The thing it was, the hot one here, that's the one that was leaking. And it was leaking here, where the hose goes on. And I took it back apart, looked at my gasket. Gasket's good. Changed the gasket, put in a cheaper gasket, put it back on there. And every time I put this one on, especially the hot side, I'd have to severely over tighten it. And I also noticed there was a little trail of rusty water down here, so I think that's where the customer's leak was at as well. I think it was right here. So yeah, over tightened it, seriously over tightened it, couldn't get it stopped. Changed the gasket, really leaked, put the old gaskets back in, severely tightened it, couldn't get it to quit leaking. So I made up a couple new hoses with the flare fittings and this Y, and hooked the water hose up, and it was still wanting to leak. And I because these have a really nice rubber gasket in them, and I mean that gasket is, you know, you never have trouble with these things leaking. And I had to just crank on that hot one. Finally did get it to quit leaking, but there had to be something wrong with that fitting, which is attached to the valve, which I figure if we're going to change one valve, we might as well change them both. Or that's my philosophy anyway. This is the hot one. I thought it was funny. I ordered these straight from Splendide. Y'all see what that says? Hopefully that Whirlpool. Here's the cold one. Whirlpool. I don't think I've ever noticed that with ordering parts from Splendide, that they'll send you American parts, because the Splendide washing machines are made in sorry, I kicked y'all. Made in Poland. They used to be made in Switzerland, I thought. Anyhow, they're made in Poland now, but they're using Whirlpool parts. So I think all we need, after we get my test hoses back off there, I think all we need is a Phillips screwdriver, a number 2 Phillips. Looks to me like there's about 6 or 8 screws to get out, and we can change those valves, and hopefully this won't be so hard to seal. I don't know. So, I mean, I had 3 different gaskets. You know, two different gaskets in my Y, and then this, and I had trouble every one of them sealing. So I'm sure it's got something to do with that fitting. I couldn't see anything wrong with it, but I couldn't get it sealed. So I finally did, but I don't think the customer would ever. I mean, I had to tighten it so much. I really thought I was going to break it, but I'm sure he's not going to tighten it up that much. When he reinstalls something flew over. When he reinstalls the washing machine in his camper. Closed that garage door, got rid of all that backlight, so now y'all can see. I'm just gonna get my test hoses off here real quick. Start switching out these valves. Man, it's a hot day here in southern West Virginia. Holy smokes, man. Had a tree fail the other day. Almost hit the new part of the garage over here. And I got up early this morning. Thought I'll get rid of that tree, or at least get it delimbed and get it drug up on the hill where I can cut it up later. And I'll do that this morning while it's cool. My goodness. When I went home for lunch, I could have wrung sweat out of my clothes. I guarantee I could have. And this one it just goes on hard all the way. So I don't know. I don't know if somebody cross-threaded this one at some point or what the heck is going on with this valve. There's something going on with it. Like I say, I think I told y'all in that other video, I tested it and couldn't find any leaks, and well, I was right. The guy wasn't real happy when I called him and said, "Hey man, I can't find any leaks." And then I think I'd gone home to eat or something. I live about a mile from this building, so I think I'd went home to eat or something. And I came back, and then I run it through that whole cycle, and I had that leak. So after doing that investigating, I went and called about the parts. 2 valves with shipping, it's like $175. So I called the guy back, said, "Hey, I think I have found a leak. And I don't know why, but it's just one of those fittings on the back of the machine." And I said, "Valves are gonna be like $175. $175, oh my goodness." I was like, well, at least I found the leak. I could have let him just take it home, take it back to the camper, which his camper's like an hour away from where we live. He's not very far from me. And I could have let him take it down there and put it back in and still had a leak. I guess maybe that would have made him happier. I just honestly don't know what will make some people happy. So there was a couple screws back here that I took out while I was talking that hold the valves to this little fitting back here, which I think I probably should get that out of the way too. I think it's just like a plastic. I'll show you here in a second. Like a plastic. Almost like a beauty ring. Right there. Get out. Now we can get these valves, I do believe. So one of them must have 2 plug-ins. Yeah. Cold one. So it's got 2. It has 2 wiring harnesses. Go to it. Those unclipped, unplugged. So let me go ahead and pull this wiring harness, this wire connector off of this cold one. Should be pretty self-explanatory because they're kind of formed to fit. I hope that's the way it works anyway. Now there's some screws that hold the valves to this little waterway. This runs up, water comes in, runs up here. This is where your soap dispenser and your fabric softener dispenser is, and it runs through here and then it goes into the drum. So these water valves are really bad about freezing and busting. So I really thought that was going to be our problem, but I think it was just an old leak. Maybe it got worse over the winter, and when he turned the water on the machine, that's when he noticed he had a leak because the carpet was wet. This thing probably sits in a closet, usually in a bedroom, and The bedroom and the closet are typically carpeted. I didn't see it. I didn't pull this thing out. I told him I don't do that anymore. Oh, okay, so this is 2 separate valves. All right, so that's the hot one. It doesn't look exactly like the one we have. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. The cold one is the one that has two wire connectors on it. So get a new rubber gasket that goes on here. Now we got to get the old one off because the old one didn't, or out of this thing, because it did not come off when I pulled the valve out. See if I can snake that baby out of there. Reach up in there with my trusty knife and just get a hold of that. It's more like a grommet than it is anything else. I would call it a grommet. Heck, they probably call it a grommet too. So there it is. For all you rubber experts out there, if you've missed some of my videos, my brother sent me some assembly goo. It's like a wax-based stuff. You rub your finger around on it, it melts it, and then you lube up your O-ring or whatever. Because every time I would put petroleum jelly on an O-ring or something, rubber experts out there in YouTube land would go, they'd lose their minds. Oh my gosh, you've ruined it. It's never going to seal. I'm like, that's funny. Never had any problems with it. So, we'll get the grommet inserted up in there. Put 2 screws back in. Holds it all together. That is the hot one. Yep. Because it has an orange screen in the end of it. So we know that's the hot one. Yeah, these valves are pretty easy to change. So all you need is a Phillips screwdriver. Make sure everything's nice and snugged up. Get down here and look at it from underneath. Make sure it looks like it's tight. I think I'm going to snug it up just a little bit more. I don't think it's quite there. Okay. Already got the screws out of the cold one. Let's slip it off. One grommet came off, one did not. So let me fish out that other grommet. I dropped it down the machine, not the end of the world. There's all kinds of room down the bottom of this machine for your extra parts. So we'll just leave that right down in there. We won't concern ourselves with it. Just a little piece of rubber. Shouldn't hurt a thing. Get a cold valve out of the bag. Got that grommet on there correctly. Screws back in this one. Hey, I want to really tell everybody how much I appreciate y'all watching my recent videos. Man, the views are really up, and that's awesome. I really appreciate it. Alright, let's take this one. Take this back out real quick and check it, grommet. I'm really thinking I got that one upside down. I know what assembly goo is. Slick stuff. Can't hardly hang on to a screwdriver at all. Oh, it was right. Okay. Yeah. Better to check than to wonder later if it was right. One thing, I gotta wipe my screwdriver off and wipe my hands off. Of course, I'm sweating like, whew, I don't even know what. Lost my air. It's getting one from his door being open. That ain't helping. I got this thing set up on this table because we just slid it right off his tailgate on his pickup, right on this table. This metal table, my layout table. And yeah, I love loading and unloading stuff out of a pickup with this table because it's the same height as everybody's pickup. Okay, get them bad boys plugged back in real quick. Oh yeah, and that video there just a while back where I asked people how long they worked at their present job and stuff like that. That was cool. A lot of responses. Really appreciate everybody that commented on that. It was cool seeing the comments. And some of you may have noticed that for the first almost 6 years I've had this channel, I have answered each and every comment that you all have left. I'm just not able to do that anymore. That was overwhelming me. Everybody, I mean, rest assured, I read every comment. I know I watch channels and they say that, and I was like, yeah, poo, whatever. But yeah, it takes practically no time to read every comment. But what was killing me was trying to answer every comment. So yeah, I just can't do that anymore. I apologize. I hate it. Actually, that just started this week. Me not answering every comment. So, if you're used to that, I'm sorry, you're going to be disappointed. But, you know, I got to look out for me too. I'm trying to help you guys out. out there, and but I got to take care of me too, you know. So but I really do appreciate everybody that comments on videos. It means a lot to me, and you know, it's getting to the point where this channel has grown to a place where, you know, people will need help in the comment section, and the other subscribers are chiming in and helping them out. So that's awesome. Appreciate that. So I'm going to raise this door back up, get some air flowing back in here, and hook the water back up this thing, and hopefully it leaks less. Alrighty, let's see if this works better now. My goodness, it can't be any worse. I don't see how it could be any worse. Now you still have to tighten these up with a pair of pliers. You just can't hardly get by doing them hand tight. But I'm hoping that now you don't have to go crazy on either one of them. I'm just going to snug it up good. Stop right there. Snug it up. And hook that to my two test hoses. All right. Let me turn the water on and see how it does. This up here is dry as a bone. I am going to run it through a cycle. Well, heck, I'll let you watch here a minute. Y'all love to watch. So, yeah, I think that's going to be it on this one. Anything exciting happens, I'll fire the camera back up, but otherwise, here, I should be ready to run some water in now. There we go. I got to climb up there and make sure everything's dry around the valves too. But yeah, I think that's going to be it. Just really appreciate y'all watching, and for all my loyal watchers and my new watchers, thank you very much. I think I'm going to go home and set an air conditioner the rest of the afternoon. It is smoking hot here today. So, y'all have a great day and stay cool out there.